Oh boy, more MrBeast drama. Luckily it's not all bad news for Jimmy today. It's not bad, but it's not good either. Remember the no doesn't mean no internal document that was in DocPac's latest video?
No.
No does not mean no.
The official name is actually How to Succeed in a MrBeast Production, and the entire 36-page document got dropped harder than the Fat Man over Nagasaki, which means that Christmas came early for YouTubers all over the world. This document has information that has helped Jimmy make the MrBeast brand reach what it is today, so some of the information contained in this document is literal gold for anyone trying to make YouTube a career. And since we in this channel are fiends for leaked information, today I'll be going over the document and the most important pieces of the information that it contains. Of course that this is all alleged. It's all alleged, Jimmy. Please, it's just a joke. Don't cease and desist me, it's an allegation. Funnily enough, following the previous video about the AI text-to-speech YouTube channels taking over by copying manual line for line, there'll be a lot of reading today, but I'll be the one reading, not some random AI voice of 11 Labs. I'll keep yapping to a minimum and just give you the information that you actually want. Anyway, with the help of my phone, let's jump into the How to Succeed in a MrBeast Production. I is a small introductory part going over the reasons behind Jimmy making the rulebook, stating reasons such as the team is growing larger, I don't have as much time with everyone as I used to, and I thought it would be useful to brain dump as much as I can into this book to help new people, bringing them up to speed on everything we've learned over the past decade with this channel. This is not a rulebook. It's still an introduction, stating that the rulebook is not, in fact, a bunch of rules to follow. The purpose of this book is not to give you a bunch of rules to follow. Nothing in here is to be taken literally. Prelude. This section explains how MrBeast wants his workers to be proactive and have knowledge on everything regarding the MrBeast pipeline, be it video, filming, editing, YouTube metrics, etc. Basically everything. Everything we do here is interconnected, and the more we understand about what others are doing, the better setup for success you will be. I advise everyone to read it in its entirety. It then talks about the legend of James, who knows everything at MrBeast and will do in 30 minutes what a team of 5 couldn't do in a week. James Warren understands every single part of this company at a deep level. I've seen a team of 5 work in a project for a week just to give up, and James solve it in 30 minutes. What is your goal in here? Make the best YouTube videos possible, followed by examples. I don't care how traditional media does things. I don't want to be Hollywood. MrBeast then shares his thoughts on YouTube. I believe that YouTube will keep growing, and in 5 years it will be bigger than anyone will ever imagine it, and I want this channel to be at the top. And then shares how Hollywood movies wouldn't work on YouTube, stating the following reasons. They'd flop on YouTube because they wouldn't be profitable, have no flexibility, can't be adapted to trends, have long lead times. I don't want 1 or 2 movies a year, I want one every week. The amount of hours you work on is irrelevant. We love grinders above the rest, but we are a results-based company. You will be judged based on the results. I only want A players. This segment goes over the types of people in a company, divided into 3, at least according to MrBeast. You're either an A player, B player, C player. A players are the best, B players need to be coached into A players, and C players are just average employees. They aren't obsessive at learning and should be transitioned into a different company immediately. Chapter 1. What makes a YouTube video viral? This is the first text wall we'll come across. Fear not, my sweet child. I'll resume it because it's not that big if broken down into what really matters, aka if it's broken down into the core of it. So what makes a video viral? These are 3 metrics you need to care about: click-through rate, CTR, average viewer duration, AVD, and average view percentage, AVP. CTR is how many people have seen the thumbnail divided by the number of people who have clicked on the video. AVD is how long on average people watch the given video. We then are given a cool screenshot showing how YouTube displays AVD. Basically, after uploading, YouTube makes graphs for YouTube to see their own metric, and this is the one for AVD. Then, watching this metric and following it, MrBeast explains how minute 1 should always be a spectacle and the best possible in order to make as few people as possible click out of the video. This is why we freak out so much about the first minute and go so above and beyond to make it the best we freaking can. Following that, we have minute 1 through 3. This is where you have to transition from idea to execution, stop telling people what you will do and start actually doing it. MrBeast also shares a cool re-engagement tactic. We'll be seeing this one later in the video. It's called the re-engagement tactic. literally, and usually appears every 3 minutes or so. And you can literally go to a MrBeast video right now and check it for yourself. We also want to do something around the 3-minute mark that is called the 3-minute re-engagement. Re-engagements are usually spectacles and sometimes need lots of time and money to perfect. After that, MrBeast talks about the next part, which is minutes 3 to 6. This is where you plan out the most exciting and interesting content that is also very simple. MrBeast also adds yet another re-engagement at the 6-minute mark. Usually the 6-minute mark we will include another re-engagement, and lastly the final segment of the video that starts around the 6th minute mark and goes until the end. Lastly, we have what we call back half content. MrBeast then shares retention graphs explaining what is good and bad retention graph and goes a little bit into detail into them. I think we can all understand the green is good and the red is bad. With this being said, let's take a look at the graph. I need to zoom on the graph to see it. The shape of the audience retention graph can tell you which parts of your video are most and least interesting to viewers. And then we have a continuous line. When the line of the chart is flat, it means that the viewers are watching the part of your video from the start to finish. Then we have a gradual descending line. Gradual declines mean viewers are losing interest over time. All videos on YouTube generally taper off during the playback period. And then we have two spiking graphs, one upwards and one downwards. The green one is spikes appear when more viewers are watching, rewatching or sharing those parts of your video, and then the other one with the red dips mean viewers are abandoning, skipping at that specific part of your video. MrBeast also talks about something very important called the wow factor that sometimes make the video go viral, thus generating even more clicks and engagement. But that is not as important as the other metrics, so if you want, you can stop the video to read this part. I won't bother you since it's just adding additional time and it's unnecessary. Chapter 2, creating content. This is the second chapter and is about creating the actual content catered specially towards YouTube. I quote, "I want the best videos in the world and that's why I need people who are obsessed. Get rid of Netflix and Hulu and watch tons of YouTube. It will make you more successful." And then we have a book recommendation by MrBeast, which is called The Goal. I'll get my copy right away. Excuse me, sir, I'll take your entire stock. MrBeast then goes on to preface how important it is to hit deadlines. Let's say that Tyler and you agree it will be done in 5 days. You won't get to set a reminder for 5 days and not talk to him for 5 days. Every single day you must check in on Tyler and make sure you're still on track to hit the target date. Take ownership and don't give your project a chance to fail. Check daily and leave no room for error. Video editing. MrBeast talks about the importance of videotaping everything, even if it's not your job to do so. It's important you video everything critical. The easiest way to bring your team up to the same page is to video everything and store it where they can constantly reference it. A lot of problems can be solved if we just video sets and ask for videos when ordering things. Say the negative, title says it all. I found the castle we need for the video, but it's booked all year over budget and someone died in it last week. It's your fault. Track the contractor. It's very important, and I see here that Jimmy values taking ownership and blaming yourself over the outside factors over anything. Such can be confirmed by this small chapter, the previous ones as well as the next ones, but this one in particular. You can just dump and forget your projects. You should hire the contractor a certain time in advance. In case something goes off, we can make some changes, and you need to decide whether it's or not it's a critical component. If it is, you should also begin working on a backup, and while working on a backup, you should check in with JB every single day. Just don't leave room for error. No excuses. Check daily. Receive videos no weeks in advance if you're I'm not always right. I can't promise I'll always be right, but there are a few ways you can help me be right more often. Whatever you don't tell me, I don't know. This segment is really big because it goes over Jimmy's schedule, but it summarizes to what I said earlier without all of the filler. You can also stop the video if you want to read it for yourself. Critical components. Critical components are things essential for the video. 100 people in an island, give it away to one of them. Securing an island is a critical component. Without the island, there's no video. Communication lines. It's important as a company we maintain proper communication lines. There's always someone responsible for everything on the video, and if multiple people are responsible for the same thing, then that's a problem and it needs to be fixed. Ideally, when communicating across departments, you go up and over. Creativity saves money. In this segment, Jimmy goes over the importance of using creativity to save money. Here's an example I'll use all the time, which sounds cooler as a price for gaming video, 20k or a year's supply of Doritos. The latter is funnier and the audience would find it hilarious, but then using our quick maths, we'd find that a year's supply of Doritos would equate to around 2k, and 2k Yeah, you guessed it, is less than 20k. Always have a backup day, always check quit creative before you do something, but backup days are necessary, and ideally we work with people that see the value in us and love us, so they will be even more flexible. Don't take anything at face value, always dig. This is particularly important when dealing with people outside MrBeast production. Do not trust people outside the company. Investigate, verify what they say, or it's your fault if they don't pull through. Higher form communication. The best is to talk to people in real life. It's very important you know when to call people, grab them in real life, and when to text them. On to your mistakes. This segment, once again, hammers in the fact that Jimmy really wants people to own up to their mistakes. I hate excuses and despise when people just try to save face instead of owning up and learn from how they messed up. Mistakes are okay. I have never fired someone on the spot for messing up. Own shit so we can address how to fix it and how to move on. Nothing comes before your prios. You should have what you call prio list. 1. Get a Lambo. 2. Get it wrapped in anime characters. 3. Make a custom steering wheel. Nothing is allowed to come between you and getting those prios done. If anything gets in the way of those prios, then it's your fault. Use consultants. Consultants are literally cheat codes. Consults are a gift from God. Please take advantage of them. Math, science, vision, approvals, budget. Everything you need can be solved by one of those 5 things above. Use math, science, vision, approvals, or budget. No does not mean no. Here's the dreaded chapter that made a special cameo on Dogpack's video that, at face value, Jimmy should have probably given a better name to. In this day and age, on our planet, with this economy, in our current culture, I see how some people would have got offended by this. Anyway, when dealing with people outside MrBeast, never take no at face value. If other avenues are exhausted and if you're still left with a no, that doesn't mean no. Don't just stop because one person told you no. Stop when all conceivable options are exhausted. Work on multiple videos every day. Pretty much what the name suggests. If you only work on one video during a day, you failed as MrBeast on play on that day. Be able to hold a camera. This one goes along with the videotape everything chapter. It would be nice if at any point in time you got training on your style of holding camera. When you do a big shoot not local, it would be nice to not have to bring 1 million production people and 1,000 camera people. 1 out of 10 good, 10 out of 10 bad. Again, what the name suggests, YouTube has a graph that rates your video's performance from 1 to 10. 1 is good, 10 is bad. Then he gives us some examples that you are watching on your screen right now. These ones are from 2022, probably when MrBeast wrote this. Random things you should know. Don't leave contestants waiting in the sun for more than 3 hours. Spectacles are videos that only MrBeast channel can do, and not every video should be a spectacle. I hate having lots of people on set. Create an environment where the contestants feel natural. I'd rather you be honest with each other rather than nice to each other. Do not talk down on talent or anything to make them feel like shit. I need them to be happy and in good moods, and those boys are special to me. Me like simple, the simpler the better. We pivot a lot. Be ready to have everything flipped on its head at moment's notice. I want money spent to be shown on camera ideally. Work with intensity, push outwards not inwards. Pull all-nighters weeks before the shoot so you don't have to do days before the shoot. If something goes wrong on shoot, always check to see if it can be made into content. Feasibility is working to see if critical components of a video are actually possible. Never do anything that could make us look bad from a PR perspective. Chapter 3. Creative. We are a creative first company because when creative leads the video of the shoot, the production is always better. So it's important you all understand creative. When a problem appears, always ask yourself if your new plan is the best for creative, not just the easiest band-aid. What is the goal of our content? To excite me! We must always be improving and innovating. The camera angles need to be always better, pacing, the story, the jokes, the color, lighting, etc. To see these videos get better and better ultimately makes me and the viewers happy. What makes good content? Good content is limitless. Good content can be anything. Always have an open mind. Never stop innovating. Content can be anything, but there are structures and rules that we must mold into what I want to teach you about. Because virality doesn't just happen. Every frame of your video will be seen by tens of millions of people. How to measure success of content? We've also already tackled this one before. It goes further into detail over CTR, AVD and AVP. It then gives us some more graph examples to further visualize it. In these 2 graphs, the lower one got triple the views and people watched it on average for 7 minutes and 46 seconds, aka 1 minute and 30 seconds more than the first one. Formats. One way to boost retention on a video is to have a good format to the video to follow. MrBeast then goes over multiple video formats that do well, like for example, who will be the last one to leave the circle? I bought the world's largest firework, showing the fireworks from $1 to $1 million. Who's our audience? Children? But just kidding. According to MrBeast, teenage memers that like video games. And here are the metrics: 69% male, 36% from the USA, and the age metric is bullshit. We were all children at some point in time or another. In my Club Penguin account from 10 years ago, I was already 30, and I'm not even 30 now. So yes, age metrics are BS. You should watch our videos. If you're going to be working for the Beast brand, you should be a fan of the Beast brand. A lot of valuable knowledge comes with watching vast amounts of videos, brand deals, and content. We like to integrate them into the content so it doesn't nuke our retention and boosts conversion. And then he shows us these two graphs with retention rates. One of them, the ad was integrated, and the other one, it wasn't. And the numbers speak for themselves. Understand culture. This is the Ava Tyson segment. A full chapter of glazing. Jokes aside, he uses them to explain understanding culture by consuming tons of media constantly and staying up to date with trends. Chris Tyson is funny AF. I never met anyone in my entire life that can make people laugh like he can, and I never understood why he was so good at it until I lived with him for a few years. This dude watches an obscene amount of cartoons and stupid shit. His eyeballs exist to inhale copious amounts of just goofy, dumb and brain-numbing content. As a result, he's hilarious. If your diet isn't correct, you won't have a good pulse on culture. It's okay for the boys to be childish. This segment is another checklist for what the boys will do. We don't fake things. Make sure to prep contestants and try to create an environment where they feel comfortable talking. If you wrote a banger piece of content but it has a 50-50 chance of working, write another piece of content. Run your content by as many people as possible for inspiration on how to make it better. I want famous people in our videos. Don't ever put me in a situation where I have to lie because I won't and it will screw the video. No dull moments in videos. You can't fake intensity in videos. The video endings must always be a break to protect retention. This isn't really a creative thing, but in general, when on set, be attentive and engaged. Filming these days are stressful enough. Be useful, please. Chapter 4, your career. And this is the last chapter. It's dedicated to the career as an employee at MrBeast. This is a semi-long chapter. To preserve integrity of it, I won't read it. You can pause it if you want to read it in its entirety. I guess that this would also apply if you want to work at MrBeast that bad. Basically, give your 200% and you'll probably get rewarded, although not guaranteed. And that's it! These were the How to Succeed in a MrBeast production leaked files. I know that this video was a little bit different from the usual one, a little bit out of the ordinary where I usually yap a lot. It took way longer than I was expecting since I had to summarize this 36-page document so the video wouldn't be an hour and a half. So if you could drop a like and a subscribe, it would mean the world to me. We're 60% of the way to 1,000 subscribers. Okay, that's it, bye.